Hello there. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Tonight we wander into a kingdom that has been here all along yet remains so often overlooked. The quiet realm of mushrooms. They are not quite plant, not quite animal, something in between, or perhaps something else entirely. A realm unto themselves. Mushrooms breathe as we do. They grow in silence. And they have shaped life on this planet for longer than forests have existed. Some glow in the dark like lanterns scattered across the night. Some stretch vast and unseen beneath our feet, weaving the roots of trees together in secret networks. Others dazzle with colors so bright they seem painted by hand, while a few carry poisons so deadly that a single taste could end a life. And yet, mushrooms are also healers, builders, recyclers, dreamers. They make bread rise. They turn grapes into wine. They can clean the world of oil and plastic. And they may even help us imagine how life could survive on other planets. Tonight, let's drift off together while exploring over 100 soothing facts about mushrooms and the hidden fungal kingdom. There's no rush here. No test at the end. Just soft words and quiet wonders to carry you into rest. Welcome to Drowsy Discovery. I am glad you found your way here tonight. Perhaps you have had a long day. Perhaps you simply enjoy falling asleep to thoughts about the strange and beautiful world of fungi. Either way, this space is for you. There is something deeply calming about contemplating the hidden networks that connect life beneath the soil. Every mushroom, every delicate thread of mycelium, every drifting spore carries within it a story millions of years in the making. You are connected to this story. The atoms in your body were forged in ancient stars. The ground beneath you pulses with fungal networks older than any forest. The air you breathe carries countless spores, invisible messengers linking ecosystems you may never see. If you enjoy these gentle journeys, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a thought below. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is relax. So settle in. Let your breathing slow. And let the weight of the day drift away like spores, settling softly on a forest floor. Mushrooms are the great recyclers of the earth. They break down what has fallen and return it to the soil, turning death into life again. Without them, forests would choke on their own debris. Without them, the cycles of nature would grind to a halt. Tonight we will wander through this magnificent kingdom. We will meet organisms that glow in the dark, and creatures that control the minds of insects. We will discover truths about fungi that may surprise even the most curious minds. But there is no hurry. Mushrooms have been shaping this planet for 1 billion years. They can wait a little longer while you rest. Let us begin with the hidden nature of fungi. Mushrooms are more closely related to animals than to plants. For centuries we classified mushrooms as plants because they seem to grow from the ground like flowers or trees. But genetic analysis has revealed a surprising truth. Fungi share a common ancestor with animals that lived over 1 billion years ago, long before plants diverged onto their own evolutionary path. This means that the mushroom in your garden is more closely related to you than to the grass beside it. Both fungi and animals are heterotrophs, meaning they cannot make their own food through photosynthesis. We must consume other organisms to survive. The proteins in fungal cells, the way they store energy, even certain aspects of their metabolism, all reflect this ancient kinship with animals. This evolutionary relationship runs deeper than appearances suggest, hidden in the very molecules of life itself, connecting us to the mushroom kingdom in ways our ancestors could never have imagined. Fungi breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide just like we do. Unlike plants, which absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen through photosynthesis, fungi respire in a manner remarkably similar to animals. They take in oxygen from their environment and use it to break down organic matter for energy, releasing carbon dioxide as a waste product. This metabolic similarity to animal respiration is another sign of our shared evolutionary heritage. When you stand in a forest surrounded by mushrooms, they are breathing alongside you, participating in the same ancient exchange of gases that sustains all animal life. It is a quiet communion between kingdoms, invisible and continuous. Their cell walls are made of chitin, the same material in insect shells. While plant cells are reinforced with cellulose, fungal cells are strengthened by chitin, a tough and flexible polymer also found in the exoskeletons of insects, crabs, and lobsters. This shared building material hints at deep connections in the chemistry of life. Chitin provides structure and protection, allowing fungi to resist environmental stresses while remaining flexible enough to grow through soil and wood. The same substance that armors a beetle also forms the walls of the mushroom sprouting from a fallen log. Life reuses its best inventions across kingdoms, and chitin is one of the most successful. This remarkable molecule is the second most abundant natural polymer on Earth, after cellulose, and it has been serving life's needs for hundreds of millions of years. The mushroom you see is only the fruit of a much larger organism. What we call a mushroom is merely the reproductive structure of a fungus, equivalent to the apple on an apple tree. The true body of the fungus lies hidden underground or within its substrate, a vast network of microscopic threads called mycelium. This network can extend far beyond the visible mushroom, sometimes covering areas as large as several football fields. The mushroom emerges only when conditions are right for reproduction, rising from the hidden depths to release its spores into the wind. Most of the fungus remains forever unseen, quietly digesting, growing, and waiting in the darkness below. When you pick a mushroom, you are not harvesting the organism itself, but only its fruiting body. The true fungus remains hidden, ready to produce more mushrooms when conditions permit. This invisible majority of the fungal organism is where all the essential work of digestion, nutrient absorption, and network building takes place. Mycelium is a vast network of delicate threads hidden beneath the soil. Beneath every forest floor, a hidden world of fungal threads weaves through the soil like living lace. These threads, called hyphae, are incredibly thin, sometimes only a single cell wide, yet they extend for extraordinary distances. Collectively, the hyphae form the mycelium, the vegetative body of the fungus. This network penetrates decomposing matter, breaks down complex organic molecules, and absorbs nutrients for the organism. A single gram of forest soil can contain kilometers of mycelial threads, an intricate web of life, invisible to the naked eye, but essential to the health of the ecosystem above. A single mycelial network can stretch for miles underground. The reach of mycelium can be staggering. Some fungal networks extend across hundreds of hectares, connecting trees, shrubs, and other plants in an underground web of nutrient exchange. These networks are not passive structures but dynamic, growing systems that constantly probe new territory, seeking out food sources and forming partnerships with plant roots. A mycelial network beneath a forest may be centuries old, having grown slowly outward from a single spore. weaving itself into the very fabric of the ecosystem. Walking through a forest, you are always walking above this hidden architecture. The hyphal tips of the mycelium can grow several centimeters per day under ideal conditions, constantly exploring the soil for new resources and opportunities. The largest living organism on Earth is a fungus in Oregon. In the Blue Mountains of eastern Oregon, a honey fungus called Armillaria ostoyae holds the record as the largest known living organism on the planet. This single fungal individual spans nearly 10 square kilometers and is estimated to be at least 2,400 years old, though some estimates suggest it could be much older. The fungus spreads through the soil and tree roots, feeding on living and dead wood alike. Despite its immense size, most of it remains invisible, a silent giant beneath the forest floor. It is humbling to consider that the largest creature on Earth is not a whale or a tree, but a hidden network of fungal threads. This ancient organism was growing when the Roman Empire was at its height and has silently witnessed the rise and fall of human civilizations. Mushrooms communicate with electrical signals through their networks. Recent research has revealed that fungi generate electrical impulses that travel along their mycelial networks, much like signals in a nervous system. Scientists have measured these pulses using microelectrodes and found patterns of activity that change in response to environmental stimuli. When a fungus encounters nutrients or threats, electrical signals propagate through the network, potentially coordinating responses across the entire organism. This discovery has opened new questions about fungal cognition and whether these organisms possess a form of distributed intelligence. The mycelium beneath our feet may be pulsing with messages we are only beginning to learn how to read. These electrical pulses resemble patterns similar to language. Analysis of the electrical signals produced by fungi has revealed structured patterns that bear intriguing similarities to language. Researchers have identified clusters of impulses that could function like words, with distinct units recurring in recognizable sequences. While no one claims fungi are having conversations in any human sense, the complexity of these signals suggests they carry meaningful information. Perhaps they communicate the location of food, the presence of danger, or coordinate the growth of distant parts of the network. This fungal language, if it can be called that, operates in silence beneath the soil, a vocabulary written in electricity. Fungi can remember past environmental conditions. Studies suggest that some fungi can store information about their surroundings and modify their behavior based on past experiences. In laboratory experiments, slime molds, which are not true fungi but share some characteristics, have demonstrated the ability to remember the timing of temperature changes and anticipate future events. True fungi may possess similar capacities, encoded in the structure or chemistry of their mycelium. This form of memory without a brain challenges our understanding of cognition and suggests that intelligence can emerge from distributed networks rather than centralized organs. Fungi remember in their own way, written into the very architecture of their growth. Mycelium creates underground highways for bacteria to travel. The channels and passages created by mycelial networks serve as transport routes for other microorganisms, particularly bacteria. These fungal highways allow bacteria to travel through soil far more efficiently than they could on their own, crossing gaps in moisture and navigating around obstacles. Some bacteria even hitch rides on growing hyphal tips, using the fungus like a living road system. This partnership benefits both parties, as bacteria may help fungi access nutrients or defend against pathogens. The soil beneath a forest is crisscrossed with these invisible highways, a microbial infrastructure built by fungal engineers. Fungi help trees talk to each other through root connections. Trees in a forest are not isolated individuals, but members of a connected community linked by fungal networks. Through mycorrhizal associations, fungi form bridges between the roots of different trees, allowing the transfer of nutrients, water, and even chemical signals. When one tree is attacked by insects, it may send warning chemicals through this network, prompting neighboring trees to activate their defenses. This underground communication system transforms forests from collections of competing individuals into cooperative superorganisms. The trees are talking, and fungi are the messengers carrying their words. This discovery has revolutionized our understanding of forest ecology and challenged the notion that nature is purely competitive. The Wood Wide Web connects entire forests underground. Scientists have coined the term Wood Wide Web to describe the vast fungal networks that link trees across entire forests. Through these connections, resources can flow from older established trees to younger saplings struggling in the shade. Carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus and water move through mycelial pathways, redistributed according to need. This networked sharing may increase the survival of young trees and maintain the health of the forest as a whole. The Wood Wide Web challenges our view of forests as battlegrounds of competition, revealing instead a hidden economy of cooperation orchestrated by fungi. Trees that appear to stand alone are actually members of an interconnected community, their fates linked through underground channels we cannot see. The forest is not a collection of individuals, but a superorganism, bound together by fungal threads. Old mother trees feed their seedlings through fungal networks. Large, mature trees, sometimes called mother trees, play a special role in forest networks. Through their extensive fungal connections, these elder trees can funnel nutrients to their offspring and other young trees nearby. Research has shown that mother trees can recognize their own kin and preferentially support them, sending more carbon to their genetic relatives than to strangers. When a mother tree dies, it may release a final pulse of nutrients into the network, a last gift to the next generation. This maternal care, mediated by fungi, ensures that knowledge and resources pass from one generation to the next. Some mushrooms glow with their own natural light. In the darkness of the forest night, certain mushrooms emit an eerie greenish glow, producing their own light through chemical reactions within their tissues. This phenomenon, called bioluminescence, transforms fungi into living lanterns scattered across the forest floor. The glow can be bright enough to read by in complete darkness, a soft radiance emerging from wood and soil. Ancient peoples who encountered these glowing fungi often attributed them to supernatural causes, calling them fairy fire or foxfire. The reality is no less magical, a feat of biochemistry that turns mushrooms into beacons in the night. Over 70 species of mushrooms can produce bioluminescence. Scientists have documented more than 70 species of fungi capable of producing their own light, and more are likely waiting to be discovered in remote forests around the world. These glowing species are found primarily in tropical and temperate regions, often growing on decaying wood, where their light can shine most visibly. Each species produces a slightly different shade and intensity of glow, from dim flickers to bright sustained luminescence. The diversity of bioluminescent fungi suggests that this ability has evolved multiple times, hinting at its value for survival and reproduction in the fungal kingdom. The glow comes from a chemical reaction involving luciferase. The light produced by bioluminescent fungi results from a chemical reaction between a light-emitting molecule called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase. When these two compounds interact in the presence of oxygen, energy is released as visible light rather than heat. This is the same basic mechanism used by fireflies, glowing jellyfish, and deep-sea creatures, though the specific molecules differ between groups. The efficiency of this process is remarkable, producing light with almost no wasted heat, making it one of nature's most elegant chemical achievements. Evolution has discovered this trick independently many times across the tree of life, and fungi are among its most enchanting practitioners. The soft green light of a glowing mushroom is the product of millions of years of biochemical refinement, a tiny lamp burning in the forest night. Scientists believe the glow attracts insects to spread spores. The purpose of fungal bioluminescence has long puzzled researchers, but the leading theory suggests it serves to attract insects. Drawn to the glow in the darkness, beetles, flies, and other creatures land on the mushroom and inadvertently pick up spores on their bodies. When they fly away, they carry these spores to new locations, helping the fungus reproduce. This would make bioluminescence an advertising strategy, a way of calling out to passing insects in a world where most mushrooms sit silently in the dark. The glow is not for us, but for the tiny creatures of the night. Laboratory experiments have confirmed that insects are more attracted to glowing mushrooms than to non-glowing ones, supporting this evolutionary explanation. Glowing fungi inspired ancient tales of fairy fire and foxfire. Long before science explained bioluminescence, glowing fungi sparked the human imagination. In European folklore, the ghostly lights in forests were attributed to fairies or willow, the wisps, spirits luring travelers astray. In Japan, the phenomenon was called foxfire, believed to be the lanterns carried by magical foxes. Sailors used glowing wood, colonized by bioluminescent fungi, to mark paths on ships without risk of fire. These practical and mythical encounters with fungal light wove mushrooms into the fabric of human culture, transforming a biochemical curiosity into stories that endured for centuries. Some mushrooms are invisible until nightfall when they begin to glow. By day, many bioluminescent mushrooms are inconspicuous, their dull brown or gray caps blending into the forest floor or rotting wood. Only when darkness falls do they reveal their hidden brilliance, emerging as points of light in the blackness. This daily transformation makes them easy to overlook and difficult to study. Researchers searching for new bioluminescent species must venture into forests at night, scanning the darkness for that telltale glow. The mushrooms that seem ordinary in daylight become otherworldly after sunset, reminding us that the natural world has secrets that only patience and darkness can reveal. Certain fungi can glow continuously for days without stopping. Unlike fireflies, which flash their lights in patterns, many bioluminescent fungi produce a steady, continuous glow that can last for days or even weeks. As long as the chemical substrates are available and the organism remains healthy, the light persists without interruption. This sustained luminescence may be more effective at attracting insects over time than brief flashes would be. The mushroom becomes a permanent beacon in the forest night, quietly advertising its presence to any creature that might wander by. It is a patient strategy, suited to organisms that measure time in the slow rhythms of decay and growth. The air you breathe is full of mushroom spores. Every breath you take contains thousands of fungal spores, invisible particles drifting through the atmosphere like microscopic seeds. These spores are everywhere, from city streets to mountain peaks, from tropical rainforests to Arctic tundra. Most are completely harmless, passing through our lungs without effect. They are so small and light that they remain suspended in the air for extended periods, carried by the gentlest breeze. The atmosphere is a river of fungal potential, and every gust of wind scatters new generations across the landscape. We swim through a sea of spores without ever knowing it. Spores are so light they can float in the stratosphere. fungal spores have been collected at altitudes exceeding 30,000 meters, far above the clouds in the stratosphere. Their tiny size and low density allow them to ride air currents to extraordinary heights, where they may travel thousands of kilometers before settling back to Earth. Some scientists believe spores could even survive brief exposure to space conditions, protected by their tough outer walls. This ability to travel vast distances makes fungi among the most successful colonizers on the planet. A spore released in one continent can theoretically land in another, connecting distant ecosystems through invisible aerial highways. A single puffball can release trillions of spores. The giant puffball mushroom is a champion of reproduction, capable of producing an almost incomprehensible number of spores. A mature specimen can release over 7 trillion spores in a single event, each one a potential new organism. If every spore successfully germinated and grew, the resulting fungi would cover the entire surface of the Earth many times over. Of course, the vast majority perish, falling on unsuitable ground or consumed by other organisms. This strategy of overwhelming abundance ensures that at least a few spores find the conditions they need to thrive. The mathematics of fungal reproduction operates on a scale that boggles the human mind, yet the puffball produces its trillions casually, a routine investment in the next generation of its kind. Spores can be found floating high above cities. Even in the heart of urban environments, fungal spores drift through the air in enormous numbers. Air sampling studies in cities around the world have detected thousands of different fungal species floating above streets, parks, and buildings. These spores come from local sources like soil, plants, and decaying matter, as well as distant origins carried in on weather systems. The air quality reports we rarely see include counts of fungal spores alongside pollen and pollution. Cities may seem far removed from nature, but the invisible world of spores connects them to forests and fields beyond the horizon. Some spores can survive a trip through space. Experiments aboard the International Space Station have shown that certain fungal spores can survive exposure to the vacuum of space, extreme temperatures, and intense radiation for extended periods. Their tough outer walls, composed of complex polymers, provide remarkable protection against environmental extremes. These findings have implications for the theory of panspermia, the idea that life could travel between planets on meteorites or cosmic dust. If spores can survive space travel, perhaps fungi or their ancestors once drifted between worlds. At the very least, these experiments demonstrate the extraordinary resilience of these microscopic travelers. The spore is a survival capsule, perfected over billions of years of evolution, capable of enduring conditions that would destroy almost any other living thing. Mushrooms can reproduce both sexually and asexually. Fungi have evolved multiple strategies for reproduction, giving them flexibility in different environments. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of genetic material from two compatible individuals, producing spores with new genetic combinations. Asexual reproduction, by contrast, creates clones of the parent organism, either through budding, fragmentation, or the production of asexual spores. Many fungi can switch between these modes depending on conditions. When resources are abundant and stable, asexual reproduction allows rapid expansion. When conditions become challenging, sexual reproduction generates genetic diversity that may help offspring survive in a changing world. This reproductive flexibility is one reason why fungi have been so successful at colonizing virtually every habitat on Earth. Some fungal species have over 20,000 different mating types. While humans and most animals have two sexes, fungi have evolved far more complex systems of mating compatibility. The split-gill mushroom, for example, has more than 23,000 distinct mating types. Any individual can potentially mate with almost any other individual in the population, maximizing the chances of successful reproduction. This extraordinary diversity of mating types prevents inbreeding and ensures that each generation benefits from new genetic combinations. The sexual lives of fungi are far stranger and more varied than anything found in the animal kingdom, a hidden world of compatibility and chemistry. This genetic system represents one of evolution's most creative solutions to the challenge of maintaining diversity, while ensuring reproductive success across vast populations. Some spores are designed to hitch rides on insects. Not all spores rely on wind for dispersal. Many fungi produce sticky spores that adhere to the bodies of insects, using them as living vehicles for transportation. Stinkhorn mushrooms attract flies with their foul odor, coating them with spores that get carried to new locations. Truffles produce underground fruiting bodies, whose intense aromas attract animals that dig them up and spread their spores through droppings. These intimate relationships between fungi and animals have evolved over millions of years, each partner shaping the evolution of the other. Spores travel the world in the guts and on the feet of countless creatures. Some species of fungi can survive in space. Experiments conducted on the International Space Station have demonstrated that certain fungi can endure the extreme conditions of outer space. Exposed to vacuum, intense radiation and temperature swings, these organisms survived for months before returning to Earth and resuming normal growth. Their ability to withstand such punishment stems from thick-walled spores and efficient DNA repair mechanisms. These findings suggest that fungi could theoretically survive interplanetary travel on meteorites, raising intriguing questions about whether life might spread between worlds. If anything could survive the journey between planets, fungi are among the strongest candidates. The resilience of these organisms continues to astonish researchers studying the boundaries of life. Mushrooms have been found growing in nuclear reactors. In the years following the Chernobyl disaster, scientists exploring the destroyed reactor discovered something unexpected. Fungi were growing on the walls, thriving in one of the most radioactive environments on Earth. These organisms were not merely surviving but appeared to be drawn toward the radiation, growing preferentially in the direction of the most intense emissions. The discovery suggested that some fungi might actually benefit from radiation in ways we do not yet fully understand. Life finds a way, even in places where nothing should be able to survive. These Chernobyl fungi have become a subject of intense scientific interest, as understanding their survival mechanisms could have profound implications for nuclear safety, space exploration, and our understanding of the limits of life itself. These fungi may convert radiation into energy. Research on radiotrophic fungi has revealed that some species contain high levels of melanin, the same pigment that colors human skin. This melanin appears to help the fungi harness radiation for energy, much as chlorophyll helps plants capture light. The fungi seem to grow faster when exposed to radiation than when shielded from it. If confirmed, this would represent a previously unknown form of metabolism, where organisms feed on ionizing radiation rather than light or chemical energy. The possibility of radiation-eating fungi opens new frontiers in biology and potential applications in nuclear waste management. Scientists are now studying how these remarkable organisms might be used in future space missions, where radiation is abundant. Some mushrooms can survive freezing solid. Certain fungi have evolved remarkable tolerance to freezing temperatures that would kill most organisms. They produce antifreeze proteins and other cryoprotectants that prevent ice crystals from damaging their cells. When temperatures drop, these fungi enter a state of suspended animation, their metabolism slowing to nearly zero. When conditions warm again, they resume normal activity as if nothing had happened. This ability allows fungi to colonize alpine environments, polar regions, and even the freezing soils of permafrost. The cold is no barrier to these patient organisms. In the harshest winters, when ice locks the landscape in silence, these fungi wait in frozen stillness, ready to resume their quiet work when the thaw finally comes. Certain fungi can survive complete desiccation. Some fungi can lose virtually all the water in their bodies and still survive, entering a dried, dormant state that can persist for years or even decades. When moisture returns, they rehydrate and resume active growth within hours. This ability, called anhydrobiosis, is shared by a few other organisms like tardigrades and certain plants, but fungi have perfected it. The mechanisms involved include the production of protective sugars and specialized proteins that stabilize cellular structures during drying. These fungi can survive in deserts, on exposed rocks, and in any environment where water is only occasionally available. This remarkable adaptation allows fungi to wait patiently for conditions that might not arrive for many years. Fungi can thrive in the harshest deserts on Earth. Even in the driest deserts, where rainfall may not come for years, fungi persist. They survive as dormant spores waiting for moisture, or as slow-growing communities within and beneath rocks. Some desert fungi form partnerships with cyanobacteria and algae, creating crusts on the soil surface that stabilize sand and capture nutrients. Others grow inside porous stones, shielded from the sun's intense radiation. The strategies fungi have evolved for desert survival are as varied as the deserts themselves. Wherever there is a crack where moisture might collect, fungi are likely waiting. These desert-adapted species remind us that life can find a foothold in the most unlikely places. Some fungi have been found living inside rocks. Endolithic fungi dwell within the tiny spaces inside rocks, surviving on minerals and traces of moisture that seep through the stone. These organisms have been found in Antarctic rocks, desert boulders, and even deep beneath the ocean floor. They grow incredibly slowly, sometimes adding only micrometers of growth per year, but they persist for centuries. By secreting acids, they gradually dissolve the rock around them, extracting minerals and creating their own microscopic habitat. These rock-dwelling fungi expand our understanding of where life can exist and hint at possibilities for life on other rocky worlds. Some mushrooms take over the minds of insects. Among the strangest and most disturbing members of the fungal kingdom are the parasitic species that manipulate the behavior of their hosts. When certain fungi infect insects, they do not simply grow within the body and consume it. They alter the host's behavior, compelling it to act in ways that benefit the fungus. The infected insect may climb to unusual heights, seek out specific locations, or adopt poses that would never occur naturally. These zombie fungi have evolved sophisticated mechanisms to hijack their host's nervous system, turning living creatures into puppets serving the fungus's reproductive needs. The precision of this behavioral manipulation has fascinated and horrified scientists in equal measure. Cordyceps fungi manipulate ants to climb to the perfect height. The cordyceps fungus that infects carpenter ants has become notorious for its gruesome life cycle. After the fungal spores invade the ant's body, the fungus gradually takes control of its muscles and behavior. The infected ant abandons its colony and climbs to a specific height in the forest canopy, typically about 25 centimeters above the ground. This precise positioning provides optimal conditions of temperature and humidity for the fungus to complete its development. The ant does not choose this location. It is driven there by chemical signals from the fungus, a parasite guiding its host to the perfect spot for its own reproduction. The infected ant bites down in a death grip before dying. Once the infected ant reaches its programmed destination, it performs one final act under fungal control. It clamps its mandibles onto a leaf vein or twig with tremendous force, a death grip that it will never release. Shortly after this final bite, the ant dies, locked in place by muscles that stiffen as life fades. The fungus has positioned its host precisely where it needs to be. This death grip ensures the ant's body remains elevated and stable, while the fungus completes its grisly transformation, growing from within the carcass to release its spores into the air below. The jaw muscles lock with such force that even after death, the mandibles remain clamped in position for weeks. Cordyceps then bursts from the insect's body to release spores. Days after the ant's death, the fruiting body of the cordyceps fungus emerges from the ant's head like a stalk or antenna growing from the corpse. This structure can extend several centimeters above the dead ant, positioning itself to release spores into the air currents below. The spores rain down on the forest floor, where they may land on other ants and begin the cycle anew. A single infected ant can spread spores across a wide area, potentially infecting dozens of new hosts. The forest floor beneath infected ants becomes a killing field for the colony. This macabre spectacle has inspired countless works of fiction and remains one of nature's most disturbing examples of parasitic manipulation. A fungus once wiped out entire populations of amphibians. The chytrid fungus, Batrachochytrium dendrobotidis, has caused one of the most devastating wildlife diseases ever recorded. Since its global spread in recent decades, it has driven dozens of amphibian species to extinction and decimated populations of frogs, toads, and salamanders on every continent where they live. The fungus attacks the skin, which amphibians rely on for respiration and water regulation, ultimately causing heart failure. Entire ecosystems have been transformed as amphibians vanished. The chytrid fungus demonstrates the destructive potential of fungi when they encounter populations with no natural resistance. Conservation efforts are now racing to protect the remaining amphibian species from this fungal plague. Some fungi can trap and eat nematode worms. Not all predatory fungi target insects. Some have evolved to capture and consume microscopic worms called nematodes. These fungi produce sticky traps, constricting rings, or adhesive knobs along their hyphae. When a nematode brushes against these structures, it becomes stuck or ensnared. Constricting rings can snap shut in a fraction of a second, faster than the worm can escape. Once captured, the fungus penetrates the worm's body and digests it from within. These carnivorous fungi are found in soils worldwide, silently hunting the tiny creatures that share their underground habitat. Some mushrooms taste almost exactly like lobster or chicken. The culinary world treasures certain mushrooms for their ability to mimic the flavors and textures of meat and seafood. The chicken of the woods mushroom produces bright orange shells on tree trunks and, when properly prepared, has a texture and flavor remarkably similar to chicken. The lobster mushroom, actually a parasitized fungus transformed by another species, develops a dense, seafood-like quality that has made it a delicacy. These natural meat alternatives have been enjoyed for centuries by foragers and chefs alike. The diversity of flavors in the fungal kingdom rivals that of any food group on Earth. For vegetarians and those seeking sustainable food sources, These mushrooms offer remarkable substitutes for animal protein. The smell of truffles can drive animals wild. Truffles are among the most prized and expensive foods in the world, and their intense aroma is the key to their fame. The scent of ripe truffles contains compounds similar to pheromones produced by pigs and other mammals, which explains why animals go wild when they detect them. For centuries, pigs were used to hunt truffles, but their enthusiasm often led them to eat the prize before the hunter could intervene. Today, trained dogs are preferred. The truffle's powerful smell evolved to attract animals that would dig up and spread its spores, turning its fragrance into a survival strategy. Certain mushrooms are edible only once cooked. Some mushrooms that are toxic when raw become perfectly safe and delicious after thorough cooking. Morels, beloved by chefs around the world, contain compounds that can cause gastrointestinal distress if eaten raw but break down completely when heated. The same is true of certain other species. This transformation highlights the importance of proper preparation and the dangers of casual foraging. The line between edible and poisonous in the mushroom world is not always clear-cut. What matters is not just the species, but how it is prepared, a lesson foragers have learned over generations. Some mushrooms are so bitter they cannot be eaten. While many mushrooms are treasured for their flavors, others produce compounds so bitter that eating them is virtually impossible. This bitterness likely evolved as a defense mechanism, deterring animals and insects from consuming the fungus before it could release its spores. Some bitter mushrooms are not technically poisonous, but are simply too unpleasant to eat. The bitterness can be so intense that it persists through cooking and overwhelms any other flavor. Foragers learn to identify these species and leave them for the creatures untroubled by such extreme tastes. Even a tiny piece of certain bitter mushrooms can ruin an entire dish, making careful identification essential before adding any wild fungi to the cooking pot. Some mushrooms taste like chocolate. Among the more surprising discoveries in the world of wild foods are mushrooms with distinctly sweet or dessert-like flavors. Certain species have been described as tasting like chocolate, caramel, or even maple syrup. These flavors arise from complex combinations of sugars, amino acids, and aromatic compounds that develop as the mushroom grows. While not common, these sweet-tasting fungi add to the remarkable diversity of the mushroom palette. They remind us that the fungal kingdom holds culinary surprises we are only beginning to explore. Chefs around the world are increasingly experimenting with these unusual flavors in innovative dessert recipes. Mushrooms are packed with vitamin D. Mushrooms are one of the few non-animal food sources of vitamin D, and they produce it in the same way humans do, through exposure to sunlight. When mushrooms are exposed to ultraviolet light, they convert ergosterol in their tissues into vitamin D2. Some commercial growers now expose their mushrooms to UV light before sale, significantly boosting their vitamin D content. For those who avoid animal products or live in regions with limited sunlight, mushrooms can be an important source of this essential nutrient. The sun, even filtered through the forest canopy, leaves its mark on the mushrooms below. There are mushrooms that can kill you with a single bite. Among the thousands of mushroom species in the world, a small number are so toxic that consuming even a small amount can be fatal. These deadly species contain potent toxins that attack the liver, kidneys, or nervous system, often with effects that do not appear until hours or days after ingestion. By the time symptoms develop, irreversible damage may already have occurred. The most dangerous mushrooms often look innocuous, even appetizing, making them particularly hazardous to inexperienced foragers. The beauty of a mushroom is no guarantee of its safety. This sobering reality is why experts always urge caution when harvesting wild fungi for food. The death cap mushroom has no antidote. The death cap, Amanita phalloides, is responsible for more fatal mushroom poisonings than any other species worldwide. Its toxins, called amatoxins, are not destroyed by cooking and survive drying, freezing, and long storage. Once ingested, these poisons interfere with RNA synthesis in cells, causing progressive organ failure. Symptoms may not appear for 6 to 12 hours, during which time the toxins are already causing devastating damage. Despite advances in medicine, there is still no true antidote. Treatment focuses on supportive care and, in severe cases, liver transplantation. A single mushroom can contain enough toxin to kill an adult. The death cap's combination of pleasant taste, innocuous appearance, and delayed symptoms makes it perhaps the most dangerous mushroom in the world, a silent killer masquerading as a harmless forest dweller. Some deadly mushrooms look almost identical to edible ones. The tragic history of mushroom poisoning is filled with cases where experienced foragers mistook deadly species for safe ones. The death cap closely resembles several edible mushrooms, including the straw mushroom popular in Asian cuisine. The destroying angel looks similar to common field mushrooms and button mushrooms. Even experts can be fooled under certain conditions. This dangerous resemblance is one reason why foraging guides emphasize extreme caution and recommend learning from experienced mentors rather than books alone. In the world of wild mushrooms, mistakes can be irreversible. Some bioluminescent mushrooms are also poisonous. The eerie glow of bioluminescent mushrooms adds to their mystique, but that beauty can be deceptive. Several species that produce light are also toxic if eaten. The glowing does not correlate with safety, it is simply another adaptation for survival and reproduction. Handling or consuming these mushrooms can cause symptoms ranging from mild gastrointestinal upset to more serious effects depending on the species. The lesson is clear: beauty in the fungal world should never be taken as an indicator of edibility. Caution is always warranted. The enchanting glow that makes these mushrooms so captivating in the forest darkness offers no protection to the unwary forager. Some mushrooms can bleed red liquid when cut. The bleeding tooth fungus and several related species exude bright red droplets from their surface, creating an appearance that looks disturbingly like blood. This liquid contains pigments and antimicrobial compounds, and its exact function is still debated. The sight of a mushroom appearing to bleed is startling, and has given these species their common names. While not among the most deadly mushrooms, the bleeding tooth is not considered edible due to its extremely bitter taste. Its appearance serves as a reminder of how strange and varied the fungal kingdom can be. Some poisonous mushrooms have no smell or taste at all. One of the most dangerous aspects of deadly mushrooms is that many have no warning signs. The death cap, for example, is described as having a pleasant, mild taste, nothing that would alert the consumer to danger. This absence of bitter or foul flavors is a cruel trick of nature. Many poisons in the natural world taste terrible, warning animals away, but the deadliest mushroom toxins evolved without this deterrent. The only protection is knowledge and caution. In mushroom foraging, the senses alone cannot keep you safe. This is why experienced foragers never rely on taste tests to determine safety, a lesson written in centuries of tragic mistakes. There are mushrooms that smell like maple syrup. Among the more pleasant surprises in the fungal world are mushrooms that release sweet, dessert-like aromas. The candy cap mushroom found in North American forests produces a fragrance so similar to maple syrup that it is used to flavor ice cream, cookies, and other desserts. This unusual scent comes from a compound called sotalol, which is also responsible for the aroma of fenugreek and some aged wines. Foragers prize candy caps for their unique culinary applications, and the scent becomes even stronger as the mushrooms dry. It is a reminder that fungi can delight the senses in unexpected ways. Some mushrooms smell like coconut or almonds. The diversity of fungal aromas extends to tropical and nutty fragrances that seem out of place in a forest. Certain species produce scents reminiscent of fresh coconut, while others release the distinctive smell of almonds. These aromas arise from specific volatile compounds produced during the mushroom's metabolism. For foragers and mycologists, scent is often an important identification tool, as many species have characteristic odors that help distinguish them from similar-looking relatives. Walking through a forest with attention to smell reveals a hidden world of fungal perfumes. These unexpected fragrances remind us that mushrooms engage more senses than sight alone. Some mushrooms smell exactly like fresh bread. The comforting aroma of freshly baked bread is not exclusive to bakeries. Certain mushrooms produce this same yeasty, warm scent, a result of similar metabolic processes involving fermentation and the breakdown of carbohydrates. The smell can be so convincing that encountering these mushrooms in the woods creates a surreal moment of confusion. This bread-like fragrance is yet another example of the remarkable chemical diversity of fungi. They produce aromas spanning the entire range of human olfactory experience, from the delightful to the disgusting. Mycologists often use these distinctive bread-like scents as key identification features when cataloging species in the field. Others smell like cinnamon or anise. The spice cabinet finds unexpected representation in the fungal kingdom. Some mushrooms produce aromas that closely mimic cinnamon, anise, or other culinary spices. These scents arise from essential oils and aromatic compounds that the fungi produce for reasons we do not fully understand. Perhaps they deter herbivores or attract specific insects for spore dispersal. Whatever the evolutionary purpose, these fragrant mushrooms add to the sensory richness of forest exploration. A walk in the woods can become a journey through unexpected aromas. Experienced foragers often use these distinctive scents as clues to identify species in the field. Stinkhorn mushrooms smell like rotting meat to attract flies. Not all fungal fragrances are pleasant. The stinkhorn family produces some of the most offensive odors in nature, deliberately mimicking the smell of decaying flesh to attract flies and beetles. These insects land on the mushroom, become coated with sticky spore-bearing slime, and carry the spores to new locations when they fly away. The strategy is highly effective, and stinkhorns are found on every continent except Antarctica. Their foul smell may be repellent to humans, but to the fungi, it is a sophisticated advertising campaign targeting exactly the right audience. What we find disgusting, the flies find irresistible. Evolution has no interest in human aesthetics, only in what works for reproduction and survival. Mushrooms can be bright blue, purple, or pink. The color palette of mushrooms extends far beyond the browns and whites we might expect. Some species display vibrant blues that seem almost artificial in their intensity. Others glow with deep purples, brilliant pinks, or striking oranges. These colors arise from pigments that serve various functions, from protecting against ultraviolet radiation to warning predators of toxicity. The indigo milkcap bleeds bright blue latex when cut, while the amethyst deceiver gleams with purple tones. Walking through a diverse forest, one can encounter a rainbow of fungal colors hidden among the leaves and logs. These natural dyes have fascinated artists and scientists alike, offering beauty that rivals anything in the plant or animal kingdoms. Some mushrooms look like tiny bird nests with eggs inside. The bird's nest fungi are among the most charming members of the fungal kingdom, producing tiny cup-shaped structures that contain several round packets resembling miniature eggs. These packets, called peridioles, contain the fungal spores. When raindrops strike the cup, they splash the peridioles out and away, dispersing the spores to new locations. The resemblance to a bird's nest is purely coincidental, an example of nature arriving at similar forms for entirely different reasons. These diminutive fungi are often overlooked but reward close inspection with their perfect miniature architecture. Others look like fingers reaching out of the ground. The dead man's fungus emerges from buried wood in clusters of dark, elongated fruiting bodies that bear an unsettling resemblance to human fingers poking through the soil. This macabre appearance has earned it a place in folklore and given it its common name. The fungus is decomposing wood below the surface, and the finger-like structures are its reproductive organs, releasing spores into the air. Other species produce similar eerie forms, from the stinkhorn's phallic shape to the octopus stinkhorn's tentacular arms. The forest floor holds strange shapes that challenge our expectations. Some mushrooms resemble coral or sea creatures. The coral fungi produce branching, multi-pronged fruiting bodies that look as if they belong on an ocean reef rather than a forest floor. These structures can be delicately branched like the finest coral, or thick and club-like. Their resemblance to marine life is another example of convergent evolution, where similar forms arise in unrelated organisms facing similar challenges. Crown-tipped coral, cauliflower fungus, and many others display this branching architecture. The forest floor becomes an underwater landscape when these fungi fruit in abundance. These coral-like structures can range in color from pristine white to vivid shades of purple, orange, and pink, adding splashes of color to the muted forest palette. Others look like tiny umbrellas or parasols. The classic mushroom shape, a cap atop a slender stem, does indeed resemble a miniature umbrella. This form has evolved because it is highly effective for spore dispersal. The cap protects the spore-producing gills or pores from rain, while its elevated position allows spores to fall freely and catch the wind. Variations on this theme abound, from the parasol mushroom with its broad, flat cap, to tiny mycenas no larger than a fingernail. The umbrella shape is so successful that it has evolved independently in multiple fungal lineages. The elegant geometry of these tiny parasols demonstrates how evolution repeatedly discovers the same efficient solutions to the challenge of spore dispersal. Some mushrooms are covered in sticky slime. Many mushrooms produce a slimy coating on their caps or stems, especially when young or in humid conditions. This mucilage serves several purposes, from deterring insects and grazers to protecting the developing fruiting body from drying out. In some species, the slime helps spores stick to visiting insects. The texture can be off-putting to foragers, but it is simply another adaptation to the challenges of fungal life. Slime molds, though not true fungi, take this even further, existing as flowing masses of protoplasm before producing spore-bearing structures. The mucilage can also contain antimicrobial compounds that protect the young mushroom from bacterial and fungal competitors. Mushrooms can change color when touched. Some mushrooms undergo dramatic color changes when handled, bruised, or cut. The blue-staining boletes turn vivid blue when their flesh is exposed to air, a chemical reaction between compounds in the tissue and oxygen. Other species turn yellow, red, or black upon damage. These color changes can serve as identification features for foragers and mycologists. The mechanisms behind them vary, but often involve the oxidation of phenolic compounds. A mushroom that changes color before your eyes is revealing its hidden chemistry, a glimpse into the molecular world within. Some species change color so rapidly that the transformation occurs within seconds of being handled, creating a mesmerizing display of natural chemistry. Some mushrooms are so small they fit on a pinhead. At the smallest end of the fungal spectrum are mushrooms so tiny, they require a magnifying glass to see clearly. Some species produce fruiting bodies no larger than a pinhead, their delicate structures invisible to casual observers. These miniature mushrooms are often found on decaying leaves, twigs, and other small substrates. Despite their size, they are fully functional reproductive organs, producing spores that drift away on the slightest air currents. The forest floor is covered with these tiny fungi, a hidden landscape of Lilliputian mushrooms that most people never notice. Studying these microscopic mushrooms requires specialized equipment and patience, yet they play important roles in recycling nutrients from the smallest organic debris. Others can grow to be larger than a human. At the opposite extreme, some mushrooms reach truly impressive dimensions. Giant puffballs can grow larger than footballs, while certain shelf fungi create structures that extend more than a meter across. The Tomitomyces titanicus of Africa produces caps that can exceed 1 meter in diameter, making it one of the largest mushrooms in the world. These giants arise from extensive mycelial networks that have accumulated resources over years or decades. When conditions are right, they channel those resources into massive fruiting bodies that dwarf everything around them. The sight of a mushroom larger than a child standing in a forest clearing is a reminder of the hidden power lurking beneath the soil. Mushrooms once grew as tall as trees. During the Devonian period, roughly 400 million years ago, the tallest organisms on land were not trees, but giant fungal structures called prototaxites. These columnar organisms could reach heights of 8 meters or more, towering over the low-growing plants of the era. Their exact nature puzzled scientists for decades, but isotopic analysis eventually confirmed their fungal identity. In a world before tall trees evolved, fungi dominated the landscape, standing like sentinels across the ancient continents. It is strange to imagine a world where mushrooms were the giants and trees were yet to rise. These ancient fungal towers would have been visible for miles across the primitive landscape, monuments to an era when fungi ruled the land. Certain fungi create fairy rings in meadows. Fairy rings are circular patterns of mushrooms that appear mysteriously in lawns and meadows, growing outward year after year. They form because the fungal mycelium spreads outward from a central point, exhausting the nutrients in the soil behind it. The mushrooms appear at the growing edge of this expanding ring, where the mycelium is most active. Some fairy rings are centuries old and span dozens of meters in diameter. In folklore, these rings were attributed to dancing fairies or supernatural forces. The truth is no less remarkable: the patient outward growth of a hidden organism measured in rings of mushrooms. Mushrooms can form perfect geometric patterns. Beyond fairy rings, fungi can create surprisingly regular patterns in their growth. Some species produce spirals, concentric circles, or other geometric arrangements that seem almost designed. These patterns arise from the mathematics of growth, as the fungus responds to nutrient gradients and its own biochemical rhythms. Lichen communities, formed by fungal partnerships with algae, often display striking radial symmetry as they expand across rocks. The natural world is full of mathematical beauty, and fungi are among its most elegant practitioners. These patterns reveal that the principles of mathematics and geometry are woven into the very fabric of life itself. Some mushrooms can appear overnight after rain. The sudden appearance of mushrooms after rainfall is one of nature's most dramatic transformations. A lawn or forest floor that showed no sign of fungal activity one day can be covered with mushrooms the next morning. This rapid emergence is possible because the mycelium has been growing underground for weeks, months or years, accumulating resources and waiting for the right conditions. When rain finally comes, the fungus can expand its prepared fruiting bodies rapidly, pushing them up through the soil in a matter of hours. The mushrooms were always there, hidden and waiting. Mushrooms can absorb and store water like sponges. The structure of many mushrooms allows them to absorb water rapidly, swelling to many times their dry weight. The spongy tissue of the cap and stem acts like a natural reservoir, storing moisture that the fungus can use for spore production and metabolic processes. This water-holding capacity is especially pronounced in species like the dryad saddle, whose thick flesh can become saturated after rain. When conditions dry out, these mushrooms may shrivel and shrink, only to plump up again when moisture returns. They are living barometers, their forms responding to the humidity of the air. This water storage ability allows some species to continue releasing spores, even during brief dry spells, maximizing their reproductive success. Ancient cultures used mushrooms in sacred rituals. Throughout human history, certain mushrooms have been revered for their mind-altering properties and incorporated into religious and spiritual practices. The Aztecs called psilocybin mushrooms teonanacatl, meaning flesh of the gods, and used them in ceremonies to commune with the divine. Similar traditions existed among indigenous peoples across the Americas and in other parts of the world. These practices often took place in carefully controlled ritual contexts, with the mushroom experience treated as a sacred journey rather than casual recreation. The relationship between humans and psychoactive fungi stretches back thousands of years. Cave paintings may depict ancient mushroom use. Some of the oldest human artworks include images that researchers believe may represent mushrooms or mushroom-influenced experiences. Cave paintings in Algeria dating back thousands of years show humanoid figures with mushroom-like shapes on their heads. Similar imagery appears in rock art across multiple continents. While interpretations vary, some scholars argue these images provide evidence for the use of psychoactive fungi in prehistoric times. If correct, mushrooms may have played a role in the development of human spirituality and creativity long before the advent of writing. These ancient artworks suggest that our ancestors were already exploring altered states of consciousness tens of thousands of years ago. Fungi can create natural hallucinogens. The psychoactive compounds produced by certain mushrooms are among the most powerful mind-altering substances known. Psilocybin and psiloxin, found in over 200 species of mushrooms worldwide, can profoundly alter perception, thought, and emotion. These compounds are now being studied for their potential to treat depression, anxiety, and addiction. The reason fungi produce these substances remains unclear, but they may serve as chemical defenses or play roles in fungal ecology we do not yet understand. Whatever their original purpose, they have had an outsized impact on human consciousness and culture. Research suggests that these compounds may rewire neural pathways in ways that could revolutionize the treatment of mental health disorders. Without fungi, bread and beer would not exist. Many of the foods we take for granted depend entirely on the metabolic activities of fungi. Bread rises because yeast, a single-celled fungus, ferments sugars in the dough, producing carbon dioxide bubbles that give bread its airy texture. Beer and wine are created through the same process, with yeast converting sugars into alcohol. Cheese develops its flavors and textures through the action of various molds. Soy sauce, miso, and tempeh all require fungal fermentation. Without fungi, our culinary world would be radically impoverished, lacking many of the foods that define cuisines around the globe. The next time you enjoy a slice of fresh bread or a glass of wine, remember that you are enjoying the products of fungal labor, gifts from the hidden kingdom to our tables and our cultures. The yeast used in baking is a fungus. When we think of fungi, we often picture mushrooms, but the fungal kingdom includes far more than toadstool-shaped organisms. Yeasts are microscopic, single-celled fungi that reproduce by budding, and they have been partners in human food production for millennia. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, baker's yeast, was domesticated thousands of years ago and remains essential to baking today. Different strains have been selected for different purposes, from bread making to brewing. Every time you enjoy a slice of bread or a glass of beer, you are benefiting from the invisible labor of these tiny fungal allies. The domestication of yeast represents one of humanity's oldest biotechnologies, predating the wheel and even written language. Fungi make bread rise and wine ferment. The transformation of dough into bread and grape juice into wine both depend on the same fundamental process, fungal fermentation. Yeast cells consume sugars and produce carbon dioxide and alcohol as byproducts. In bread, the carbon dioxide creates the bubbles that make dough light and airy, while the alcohol evaporates during baking. In winemaking, the alcohol remains, transforming grape juice into an intoxicating beverage. Humans discovered these processes long before we understood the biology behind them, learning to cultivate and control fermentation through centuries of trial and refinement. Ancient civilizations considered fermentation a divine gift, not realizing that microscopic fungi were performing the miracle in every batch. Mushrooms have been used in traditional medicine for millennia. Cultures around the world have used mushrooms medicinally for thousands of years. In China, reishi and other fungi have been prized for their supposed health benefits since ancient times. Traditional European herbalists used various mushrooms to treat ailments ranging from infections to digestive problems. Modern science is now validating some of these traditional uses, finding that certain mushrooms contain compounds with genuine medicinal properties. The boundary between food and medicine in the fungal kingdom is often blurred, with many edible species also offering health benefits beyond basic nutrition. Mushrooms have been used as natural dyes for cloth. Beyond food and medicine, mushrooms have served as sources of color for textile dyes. Various species produce pigments that can be extracted and used to dye wool, silk, and other natural fibers. These fungal dyes produce colors ranging from rich yellows and oranges to deep browns and purples. Before synthetic dyes became available, mushroom dyers were valued artisans who knew which species to collect and how to extract and fix their colors. Today, interest in natural and sustainable dyeing has revived this ancient craft, with mushrooms once again coloring the fabrics we wear. Certain mushrooms contain natural antibiotics. Long before humans discovered penicillin, fungi were producing antibiotics to defend themselves against bacterial competitors. Many mushroom species contain compounds that inhibit bacterial growth, and some of these have been developed into medicines. The armillaria and other wood-decomposing fungi produce particularly potent antimicrobial substances. Research continues to identify new antibiotic compounds from fungal sources, as the rise of drug-resistant bacteria makes the search for new treatments increasingly urgent. The forest floor, is a pharmacy waiting to be explored. The first antibiotic, penicillin, came from a fungus. One of the most important medical discoveries of the 20th century came from a common mold. In 1928, Alexander Fleming noticed that a penicillium mold contaminating one of his bacterial cultures had killed the bacteria surrounding it. This observation led to the development of penicillin, the first widely used antibiotic, which has saved countless millions of lives. The story of penicillin reminds us that breakthroughs can come from unexpected places, and that the organisms we often overlook may hold the keys to our survival. Fungi have been waging chemical warfare against bacteria for millions of years, and we are still learning from their arsenal. The discovery of penicillin launched the antibiotic era and transformed medicine, all because of a chance observation involving a humble mold. A mushroom once helped stop a cholera outbreak. During the 19th century, before modern water treatment, cholera outbreaks devastated cities around the world. In some communities, people noticed that certain water sources seemed to protect against the disease. Investigation revealed that fungi growing in these water sources were producing compounds that killed the cholera bacterium. This early example of fungal antimicrobial activity foreshadowed the antibiotic revolution that would transform medicine in the following century. Mushrooms were protecting human health long before we understood how. This historical episode demonstrates how fungi have been our silent allies against disease throughout human history. Lion's mane mushroom can stimulate nerve cell growth in animals. Research on the lion's mane mushroom has revealed compounds that appear to promote the growth and repair of nerve cells. In laboratory studies, extracts from this mushroom have stimulated the production of nerve growth factor, a protein essential for the maintenance and survival of neurons. Animal studies have shown improvements in cognitive function and nerve regeneration. While human trials are still ongoing, these findings have generated excitement about the potential for fungal compounds to treat neurodegenerative diseases. The shaggy white mushroom that looks like a lion's mane may hold secrets to brain health that could benefit millions of people suffering from conditions like Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Nature's pharmacy hides its treasures in the strangest forms. Mushrooms are used to produce life-saving drugs. Beyond antibiotics, fungi are the source of numerous other pharmaceutical compounds. Cyclosporine, an immunosuppressant essential for organ transplant patients, comes from a fungus. Statins, widely prescribed to lower cholesterol, were originally derived from fungal metabolites. The cancer drug Taxol was first isolated from a fungus living in the bark of yew trees. Pharmaceutical companies continue to screen fungal species for new medicinal compounds, recognizing that millions of years of evolution have equipped fungi with a vast chemical toolkit. The medicines of tomorrow may well emerge from the forest floor. Fungi help decompose every fallen leaf in a forest. Without fungi, the world would be buried in dead organic matter. Every leaf that falls, every branch that breaks, every animal that dies, is eventually broken down by fungi and returned to the soil. This decomposition process is essential for nutrient cycling, releasing the elements locked in dead tissue so they can be taken up by living plants. Fungi are the primary decomposers in most ecosystems, their mycelium threading through dead wood and leaf litter, secreting enzymes that break down even the toughest molecules. They are the unseen janitors of the natural world, working tirelessly through every season to clean the forest floor and prepare the ground for new life. Without fungi, life on Earth would drown in debris. Consider what would happen if fungi suddenly disappeared. Dead trees would not rot. fallen leaves would pile up endlessly. Nutrients locked in dead organisms would never return to the soil. Within a few years, forests would be smothered under mountains of undecomposed debris. The cycles that sustain life would grind to a halt. Fungi prevent this catastrophe every moment of every day, quietly working to keep the planet habitable. Their role is so fundamental that without them, terrestrial ecosystems as we know them could not exist. Scientists estimate that without fungal decomposition, the Earth would be buried under meters of undecomposed plant matter within a single human lifetime. Mushrooms can store carbon underground for centuries. The mycelium that spreads through soil is made largely of carbon, extracted from the organic matter the fungus decomposes. This carbon can remain locked in the mycelial network for decades or centuries, effectively removing it from the atmosphere. When fungi form partnerships with plant roots, they also help transfer carbon from plants into the soil. Some scientists believe that fungal networks could be harnessed to capture and store atmospheric carbon as a tool for fighting climate change. The humble mushroom may play a role in solving one of humanity's greatest challenges. Mushrooms help lock nutrients into soil. Beyond decomposition, fungi play crucial roles in soil structure and fertility. Their hyphae bind soil particles together, preventing erosion and creating stable aggregates that hold water and nutrients. Mycorrhizal fungi transfer nutrients directly from soil to plant roots, while releasing their own metabolic products that enrich the soil. The presence of healthy fungal communities is often a sign of productive, fertile soil. Farmers and gardeners who understand these relationships can work with fungi to improve their land, rather than relying solely on chemical fertilizers. Regenerative agriculture practices increasingly focus on supporting these fungal networks as a sustainable alternative to synthetic inputs. Fungi may influence global weather patterns. The connections between fungi and climate extend beyond carbon storage. Fungal spores are among the particles that seed cloud formation, rising into the atmosphere and serving as nuclei around which water droplets condense. Some researchers believe that the release of fungal spores from forests may actually help generate the rainfall those forests need. If true, this would mean that fungi influence weather on regional or even global scales. The tiny spores drifting invisibly above the canopy may play a role in bringing the rain that sustains the forest below. Some mushrooms grow only on animal dung. Coprophilous fungi, or dung-loving mushrooms, have evolved to grow exclusively on the droppings of animals. These specialists play important roles in breaking down dung and returning its nutrients to the soil. Some produce remarkable adaptations, like explosive spore-launching mechanisms that propel their spores away from the dung onto nearby vegetation, where they will be eaten by grazing animals and deposited in fresh dung elsewhere. The life cycle is elegant in its completeness, each stage linked to the habits of the animals upon which these fungi depend. These dung-loving specialists have co-evolved with herbivores for millions of years, their fates intertwined in an ancient partnership. Others appear only after a forest fire. Fire-following fungi fruit in the aftermath of forest fires, taking advantage of the unique conditions created by flames. The heat of fire may trigger spore germination or eliminate competing organisms. Species like the fire morel appear in abundance in recently burned areas, sometimes not fruiting at all in years between fires. These fungi help stabilize burnt soils and begin the process of decomposition that will return nutrients to the recovering forest. They are pioneers in a post-apocalyptic landscape, the first responders of the fungal world. Mushrooms can break down stone over time. Fungi are not limited to decomposing organic matter. Some species can break down rock itself, secreting acids that dissolve minerals and creating the first soils on barren stone. This process, called biological weathering, has been occurring since fungi first colonized land hundreds of millions of years ago. The lichens that encrust rocks are partnerships between fungi and algae, slowly eating into the stone over centuries. Without this patient geological work, the formation of soil would be far slower, and the colonization of land by plants might never have proceeded as it did. This ability to transform rock into soil is one of the most profound contributions fungi have made to shaping our planet. Fungi can extract minerals from rocks. Beyond simply dissolving rock, fungi can selectively extract specific minerals they need for growth. Their hyphae penetrate microscopic cracks, releasing acids and chelating agents that mobilize elements like potassium, phosphorus, and iron. These minerals are then absorbed and transported through the mycelial network. This ability to mine rocks for nutrients gives fungi access to resources unavailable to most organisms. It also makes them invaluable partners for plants, which can obtain these extracted minerals through mycorrhizal associations. The chemistry involved in this mineral extraction is extraordinarily sophisticated, rivaling any process developed by human engineers. Fungi were among the first organisms on land. When life first emerged from the oceans onto barren rock, fungi were among the pioneers. Fossil evidence suggests that fungi colonized land around 1 billion years ago, long before the first plants. These early terrestrial fungi may have played crucial roles in breaking down rock to create the first soils, preparing the way for later colonists. The partnership between fungi and plants that made land colonization successful may have originated in these ancient times. Fungi helped create the conditions that allowed life on land to flourish. Without their pioneering work, the continents might have remained barren for far longer. Mushrooms may have helped plants colonize land. The transition of plants from water to land was one of the most important events in evolutionary history, and fungi may have made it possible. Early land plants lacked the extensive root systems of their modern descendants, and would have struggled to obtain water and nutrients from rocky substrates. Mycorrhizal partnerships with fungi may have provided the solution, with fungal hyphae extending the effective reach of primitive roots. This ancient alliance continues today, with the vast majority of plant species maintaining fungal partnerships. The forests that cover the Earth are the descendants of that original collaboration. Fossil fungi date back over 400 million years. The fossil record preserves evidence of fungi from deep in Earth's history. Some of the earliest land fossils include fungal structures, showing that these organisms were established on land during the Devonian period, and likely earlier. Fossilized fungal hyphae, spores, and even complex fruiting bodies have been found in ancient sediments. These fossils reveal that the basic body plans of fungi have remained remarkably stable over hundreds of millions of years. The mushrooms we see today are heirs to an ancient lineage that has witnessed the rise and fall of countless other life forms. The oldest fungal fossil is nearly 1 billion years old. Recent discoveries have pushed back the origin of fungi to almost 1 billion years ago. Microscopic fossils from Arctic Canada contain structures consistent with fungal cells, preserved in rocks dating to roughly 900 million years before the present. If confirmed, these fossils place the origin of fungi in the remote past, long before animals or plants appeared. Fungi may have been shaping Earth's environment since long before any creature with eyes existed to see them. Their hidden influence extends back to the very dawn of complex life, making them among the oldest and most enduring of all living lineages on our planet. Fungi can farm algae to make lichens. Lichens are not single organisms, but partnerships between fungi and photosynthetic partners, usually algae or cyanobacteria. The fungal partner provides structure, protection, and moisture retention, while the algae produce sugars through photosynthesis. This relationship is so successful that lichens colonize some of the harshest environments on Earth, from Antarctic rocks to bare desert surfaces. The fungus effectively farms its algal partner, cultivating it within a protected structure and harvesting its photosynthetic products. This partnership has existed for hundreds of millions of years and represents one of nature's most successful collaborations. Lichens can survive conditions that would kill either partner alone, demonstrating the power of cooperation in the natural world. Some fungi form partnerships with coral reefs. The symbiotic relationships of fungi extend even to marine ecosystems. Researchers revealed that fungi associate with coral reefs, living within coral tissues, and in the surrounding sediments. The roles of these fungal partners are still being investigated, but they may help corals obtain nutrients, resist pathogens, or cope with environmental stress. As coral reefs face increasing threats from climate change and ocean acidification, understanding these fungal partnerships may become crucial for conservation efforts. The hidden world of coral-associated fungi is a new frontier in marine biology. Scientists are only beginning to appreciate the full extent of fungal influence in ocean ecosystems. Certain fungi help crops resist disease. Farmers are increasingly recognizing the value of beneficial fungi in agriculture. Mycorrhizal fungi help plants absorb water and nutrients more efficiently, reducing the need for irrigation and fertilizer. Other fungi colonize plant tissues without causing harm, and may help protect against pathogens by outcompeting disease-causing organisms or stimulating plant defenses. These beneficial relationships are being harnessed in organic and sustainable agriculture, where fungal inoculants are applied to seeds or soils. Working with fungi rather than against them may be the future of farming. This approach reduces reliance on chemical pesticides and promotes healthier soils. Mushrooms once fed the dinosaurs. During the age of dinosaurs, fungi were already performing their essential roles in ecosystems. Fossilized dinosaur dung contains evidence of fungal spores, showing that these animals ate plants that were themselves connected to fungal networks. When dinosaurs died, fungi helped decompose their massive bodies, returning nutrients to the soil. The relationship between dinosaurs and fungi was indirect but fundamental. Every ecosystem the dinosaurs inhabited was shaped by fungal activity, from the breakdown of dead wood to the cycling of nutrients that sustained the plants they ate. Mushrooms can be stronger than steel in structure. The mycelium of certain fungi exhibits remarkable structural properties. When dried and processed, mycelial materials can achieve strength-to-weight ratios comparable to steel, while remaining lightweight and biodegradable. This strength arises from the complex interlocking network of chitin-reinforced hyphal walls. Researchers are developing mycelium-based materials for construction, packaging, and manufacturing. The same structural efficiency that allows fungi to force their way through soil and wood may soon find applications in buildings and products. Nature's engineering continues to inspire human innovation. These fungal materials could revolutionize how we build and manufacture goods in the future. Mycelium can be grown into building materials. Entrepreneurs and researchers are developing methods to grow mycelium into specific shapes, creating everything from packaging materials to building insulation to furniture. The process typically involves inoculating agricultural waste with fungal spores and allowing the mycelium to colonize the substrate in molds. Once the desired form is achieved, the material is dried to halt growth and stabilize the structure. These mycelium-based products are fully biodegradable and require minimal energy to produce. The buildings of the future may literally be grown from fungi. Some mycelium acts as a natural fire retardant. The dense, interlocking structure of mycelium and its high content of water-retaining compounds give it natural fire-resistant properties. Unlike synthetic insulation materials, which can be highly flammable, mycelium-based materials char slowly and do not release toxic fumes. This makes them attractive for building insulation and other applications where fire safety is a concern. Companies are already commercializing mycelium insulation panels that meet building codes for fire resistance. Fungi may help make our buildings not only more sustainable, but also safer. Mushrooms could replace leather with myco-leather. The fashion and furniture industries are increasingly interested in mycelium-based alternatives to animal leather. These myco-leathers are grown from fungal mycelium processed to resemble the texture and durability of traditional leather. Unlike animal leather, they require no animal slaughter and have a far smaller environmental footprint than synthetic alternatives made from petroleum. Major fashion brands have begun experimenting with myco-leather products, and the technology continues to improve. The handbag or shoes of tomorrow may be grown in a laboratory from mushroom threads. Fungi can digest plastic and oil. Certain species of fungi have evolved the ability to break down synthetic materials that no other organisms can touch. Pestiloteopsis microspora, discovered in the Amazon rainforest, can survive on polyurethane plastic as its sole food source. Other fungi degrade petroleum compounds, breaking them into simpler molecules that can be absorbed into the soil. These abilities open possibilities for bioremediation, using living organisms to clean up pollution. The enzymes fungi use to digest plastic are of intense interest to researchers hoping to solve our global waste crisis. Certain fungi can absorb heavy metals from soil. Mycoremediation, the use of fungi to clean contaminated environments, extends to heavy metal pollution. Some fungal species can absorb and concentrate toxic metals like lead, mercury, and cadmium from soil, effectively removing them from the environment. The metals accumulate in the fungal tissues, which can then be harvested and safely disposed of. This approach offers a natural, low-cost alternative to conventional soil remediation techniques. Fungi may help us heal the environmental damage caused by industrial pollution. Mushrooms can be used to clean up oil spills. Following oil spills, conventional cleanup methods often leave behind residual contamination that persists for years. Fungal bioremediation offers a complementary approach. Oyster mushrooms and related species can break down petroleum hydrocarbons, converting toxic compounds into harmless carbon dioxide and water. In experiments, contaminated soil treated with fungal inoculants has shown dramatic reductions in oil content. While not a complete solution, fungi-based cleanup could become an important tool in responding to environmental disasters. Mushrooms thrive on radioactive waste. The discovery of fungi growing in the Chernobyl reactor building revealed organisms that not only tolerate radiation, but may actually benefit from it. These radiotrophic fungi contain melanin and appear to use radiation as an energy source, much as plants use light. Research into these organisms continues, with potential applications in nuclear waste management and even space exploration. If fungi can thrive in the most radioactive environment on Earth, they might help us deal with nuclear contamination or survive on radiation-bathed worlds beyond our own. Mushrooms can be used to make biodegradable packaging. The proliferation of plastic waste has created an urgent need for sustainable alternatives. Mycelium-based packaging offers one solution. Grown from agricultural waste and fungal tissue, this packaging is fully biodegradable, composting harmlessly within weeks of disposal. It can be molded into almost any shape and provides cushioning comparable to polystyrene foam. Major companies are already using mycelium packaging for fragile products. The mushroom-based materials that replace plastic may help stem the tide of pollution threatening our oceans and landscapes. Certain mushrooms contain compounds that melt ice. Among the many unusual properties of fungi, some species produce natural antifreeze compounds that lower the freezing point of water. These cryoprotectants help the fungi survive in cold environments and are being studied for potential applications in de-icing and food preservation. Fungal antifreeze proteins may offer environmentally friendly alternatives to the salt and chemicals currently used to melt ice on roads. The solutions to human problems often hide in unexpected places, and fungi continue to surprise us with their biochemical versatility. Mushrooms have inspired entire genres of art. The distinctive forms and colors of mushrooms have captivated artists for centuries. From the fairy tale illustrations of Victorian books to the psychedelic posters of the 1960s, fungi have inspired entire visual movements. Art Nouveau designers incorporated the flowing curves of mushroom caps into furniture, architecture, and decorative objects. Contemporary artists create installations using living mycelium, growing sculptures that change over time. The alien beauty of fungi, with their strange symmetries and unearthly colors, offers endless inspiration to creative minds seeking to capture the wonder of the natural world. Museums and galleries around the world now feature fungal art, and the intersection of mycology and creativity continues to expand in unexpected directions. Some mushrooms can sing with ultrasonic clicks. Research using sensitive microphones has detected ultrasonic clicking sounds produced by certain mushroom species. These sounds, inaudible to human ears, are generated as spores are ejected from the gills, or as moisture is released from fungal tissues. The mechanisms and functions of these sounds are still being investigated. Some researchers speculate that they may play a role in communication or environmental sensing. Whether functional or incidental, the idea of singing mushrooms adds another dimension to our appreciation of these remarkable organisms. The forest at night is not silent after all, but filled with music beyond the range of human hearing, a symphony of fungal whispers that only the most sensitive instruments can detect. Mushrooms have been sent into space experiments. Fungi have been included in numerous space missions, from early experiments on space stations to more recent research aboard the International Space Station. Scientists study how microgravity affects fungal growth, spore dispersal, and the expression of genes involved in metabolism and stress responses. Understanding how fungi behave in space is important for future long-duration missions, where fungi could be used to recycle waste, produce food, or create building materials. The fungi that travel into orbit may help humanity establish permanent homes beyond Earth. These orbital experiments are teaching us not only about fungi but about the fundamental processes of life in environments completely unlike those on our home planet. Fungi may hold the key to carbon capture. As the world seeks solutions to rising atmospheric carbon dioxide levels, fungi offer unexpected possibilities. Mycorrhizal networks transfer vast quantities of carbon from photosynthesizing plants into the soil, where it can remain stored for centuries. Some researchers are exploring ways to enhance this natural carbon capture by promoting fungal networks in forests and agricultural lands. The underground economy of fungi, trading carbon compounds between plants and soil, may become a crucial tool in addressing climate change. The solution to one of humanity's greatest challenges may lie beneath our feet, in the patient work of organisms that have been managing carbon cycles for hundreds of millions of years. Mushrooms could help terraform other planets. The resilience of fungi and their ability to break down rock and organic matter make them candidates for the early stages of terraforming. Seeding a barren world with extremophile fungi could begin the slow process of creating soil from rock and establishing conditions suitable for more complex life. Scientists have proposed that fungi could be used on Mars to help process the toxic regolith into usable growing medium. While true terraforming remains science fiction, the first steps toward transforming alien worlds may be taken by organisms no larger than a thread. These patient pioneers of the fungal kingdom, which have already conquered every hostile environment on Earth, may one day help us make other worlds habitable for future generations of humanity. The fastest living movement on Earth belongs to a fungus. The artillery fungus, Sphaerobolus stellatus, holds the record for the fastest acceleration in any living organism. When releasing its spores, the fungus inverts a specialized structure with explosive force, launching spore packets at accelerations reaching over 100,000 times the force of gravity. This movement, completed in less than a millionth of a second, propels spores several meters away from the parent fungus. The physics involved challenge our understanding of biological motion. In the realm of speed, no animal or plant can match the explosive power of this tiny fungus. This remarkable feat of biological engineering demonstrates that fungi are masters of both the slow and the fast, patient in their growth yet capable of explosive action when reproduction demands it. Without fungi, life on Earth would not be possible. The role of fungi in maintaining Earth's ecosystems cannot be overstated. Without fungal decomposers, dead organic matter would accumulate, locking away nutrients essential for new life. Without mycorrhizal partnerships, most plants could not obtain the phosphorus and other elements they need to grow. Without fungi to break down tough plant materials like lignin and cellulose, the carbon cycle would grind to a halt. Every breath we take, every meal we eat, depends on processes mediated by fungi. They are the invisible foundation upon which all other life rests. From the smallest blade of grass to the tallest tree in the forest, from the soil beneath our feet to the bread on our tables, fungi touch every aspect of life on this planet. They are the quiet architects of a living world. And so we drift to the end of our quiet journey through the kingdom of mushrooms. From glowing lanterns in the forest night to spores riding invisible winds above the city, from fungal networks older than forests themselves, we have wandered through a world that is at once hidden and essential, fragile and indestructible. Mushrooms remind us that life is not always loud or visible. Much of the work of this planet is carried out in silence, beneath our feet, in threads so fine they can slip through the pores of stone. Fungi teach patience, resilience, transformation. They recycle death into life. They store water for the thirsty. They feed giants and insects alike. And they whisper to plants through underground networks we are only beginning to understand. Without them, there would be no bread rising in ovens, no forests climbing toward the sky, no balance in the endless cycles of Earth. If your eyes feel heavy now, let them close. Let the rhythm of your breath become steady, like the slow pulse of the mycelium beneath you, like the patient settling of spores on the forest floor. Imagine those spores drifting like stardust, carrying possibility into every corner of the air. Imagine the glow of mushrooms in the dark, quiet beacons to remind you that even in shadow, life continues to shine. This is the comfort of science told slowly. That the world is stranger, richer, and more interconnected than we can ever fully see. And that by pausing to notice, we glimpse the extraordinary in the ordinary. Sleep well, sweet dreams. And may you carry with you the quiet knowledge that beneath every forest, every meadow, every patch of earth, a hidden kingdom is working. Weaving, connecting, breathing. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the kingdom of fungi. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Drowsy Discovery for more soothing explorations of the natural world. There are more wonders waiting. More secrets hidden beneath the surface. More mysteries to drift through on quiet evenings. Rest well. And may the silence of the soil keep you company through the night. This has been Drowsy Discovery. Good night.